Sir Marco, hold. What is it?
The Venetian is here.
Piero, you've made the journey from Venice.
Hi, Marco, I brought them.
Good. Rusticano, we have them. Every one.
And the wherewith to write upon?
It is all here. Piero, this is Rusticano, a scribe from Pisa. He has offered to write down my adventures to speed the prison days.
Marco, I beg of you, Marco. Do not bring these tall tales. All our friends laugh at you. Why, everything you say is in thousands.
True, Piero. Indeed, I have not told a half of it.
Marco millions, they call it.
It is all written down. Not on my memory alone I rely.
Alas, Marco, what can I say?
Say only that you've brought the gem to reward this good jailer.
Aye, 'tis here. You've done your task well, jailer.
I thank you, Venetian.
Leave the candle, jailer. We'll start at once.
Remember, Marco millions.
The truth only, Piero. Tiziano, to work. To work.
Let us begin with a salutation. Ye emperors and kings, dukes and marquesas.
Aye, if you must. But burgesses, and all who desire to get knowledge of the kind, and the diversities of sundry regions of the world.
Good. So be it.
Thus, while a prisoner of war in Genoa, Marco Polo of Venice undertook to dictate the story of his adventurous trip to China, a trip that lasted 24 years. And because of its keen and accurate observation, it has served as a source book for mariners and explorers, merchants and geographers. But let the book of Marco Polo speak for itself. Listen to its voice.
I was 17 in the year of our Lord, 1271, when we left Venice with a cargo for the Orient. My father, Niccolo, and my uncle, Maffeo, had only recently returned from a long stay in the court of the great Kublai Khan, bringing much wealth to enrich the noble house of Polo, and the safe conduct from the Khan to go back. Our first stop was Acca, near Jerusalem, to see the new Pope, Gregory of Piacenza. For the great Khan had ordered my father to bring back with him 100 Christian priests to instruct his people, since he wished them to know of all religions. After much arranging, 2 learned Dominicans were sent with us, with letters and credentials. But alas, upon proceeding further to Laias in Armenia, we found the land ravaged by outlaws, and the 2 priests refused to go further, fearing for their lives. But we determined to press on. At Laias, we left the friendly sea and started on an overland route. Summer and winter we traveled, over huge deserts where the heat was so great that whole armies had perished from it. We crossed great mountains and plateaus of bitter cold. We paused often to rest and to trade. In each land, I learned what I could of the language and made notes of the people and their customs. Our journey took 3 long years and a half, traveling through many a strange and wondrous land. And thus we came at last to the summer palace of the great Kublai Khan at Xanadu.
Welcome, men of the West. It pleases us that you have honored your promise to return.
Great Khan, in addition to ourselves, we bring my only son and your liegeman.
He too is welcome. And now, where are the other members of your company?
Great Prince, we bring only ourselves.
What of the 100 priests your Pope was to send?
Alas, Great Khan, His Holiness the Pope did indeed send 2 learned priests.
2? 2 priests? How dare he send only the 50th part of our request?
Great Khan, even these two were unable to withstand the journey. They are no longer with us.
What?
Why came you then? For trade only?
Nay, nay, great Khan. We came at your behest.
If it please you, great Emperor.
So, what has the young sprout to say?
We have brought with us the letters and documents of our great Pope.
Documents, letters? We know not your Pope's language.
In Tung Huang, we met a Tartar scribe. With his help, we have set the documents into your own tongue.
So it is. And neatly done, too. Study these, my wise men. Welcome to Xanadu, Marco Polo.
Thus came we to the court of the great Kublai Khan. His interest in strange lands and customs made travelers ever welcome, the more so in that he mistrusted the Chinese and other conquered peoples over whom he ruled. Hence, offices of trust not held by his fellow Mongols were filled by Arabs, Jews, and Nestorian Christians. For so vast is his empire that men of all nations gathered to his court. In addition to the land he himself rules, are the many lands which pay tribute to him. Some are 6 months' journey away, and some even more. In the next 17 years, I traveled into many parts of this great empire on special missions for the Khan. During this time, I saw great wonders and immense riches. In some of these lands are the handsomest buildings in the world. The people of this land are gentle and learned, and look upon their Mongol conquerors as mere barbarians. The richest silk exists in such amazing bounty that in the great city of Hangzhou, even the poor go clad in silk. Some of these lands abound in spices of all kinds, so that for the price of a Venetian groat, a man might purchase all that he can carry. On the island of Ceylon, which does not pay tribute to the Khan, are found great rubies, sapphires, topazes, amethysts, and many other stones of price. In Malabar, which is called India the Greater, are very fine and great pearls. The people here eat a great nut, as large as a man's head, with water inside better than any wine, and meat as white as milk. Let me speak now of the great Khan and his kingdom. He is noble in proportion and learns from all about him. For instance, the city of Xianfu was captured by stones thrown from great mangonels built from miniatures designed by my father, my uncle, and myself. The Khan's soldiers are like sands of the sea, in greater numbers than all the armies of Christendom. They are paid in pieces of paper which are valued as gold, and no man dare refuse this paper money on pain of death. Yet there is kindness, too. Where there has been hardship such as drought and flood, the Khan causes to be given freely from his store. His kingdom is reached throughout by good roads, and a system of fast riders, changing often to fresh horses, can carry news of an uprising 250 miles in one day. Or they bring fresh fruit for the Khan's table with equal speed. As the years went by, the Khan honored me with missions of trust and high offices, so that at length I became governor of the great district of Yongzhou. I served in Yongzhou for 3 years, but my heart began to yearn for my native land.
Slowly and sadly the river flows on its
Excellency. Your messenger has returned from the Khan.
What reply brings he this time?
It is the same, Excellency. The Khan refuses your request to return to the land of your birth. He has need for you here.
It is as I feared.
In addition, the Khan forbids you to broach the matter again. Excellency, if I may say it, I am glad that you continue to stay with us.
Thank you, Abayan. In truth, my soul is lodged on two sides of this great world. I fear I shall never be in one without yearning for the other. But a strange circumstance opened the way for me, and I was summoned to the Khan's presence.
Marco, our Persian cousin has asked for a wife from our court.
I have heard of it, great Emperor.
We have selected the Princess Kokochin. But we do not wish her to suffer the perils of an overland journey.
It is indeed a long and difficult way.
What say you, Marco Polo, to a water route?
With good ships and skillful sailors, it is indeed possible.
Princess Kokochin, my dear, will you entrust yourself to this gentleman?
Yes, great Khan.
Be it so. Deliver her safely, Marco, for there never was cargo, a millionth part so precious. Stay, Marco, and draw near. Marco, my friend, I know how you and your father and your uncle yearn to go back to the land of your birth. When the little princess is safe in Persia, you may go on.
Oh, gracious Emperor, I thank you from my heart.
Are you then so glad to leave us?
Joy and sorrow struggle within me, great Khan.
Much have I seen through your western eyes, Marco Polo. Through you I have learned that differences though there be, beneath their strange customs, all men are truly brothers.
Excellency, I too have learned to see through your eastern eyes. Unknown to us is the free traffic in races and religions which your kingdom permits.
Take this with you. Let its color remind you of our China skies. And in its light, see the glance of friendship of Kublai Khan.
Oh, great Emperor.
Enough, enough. You have 14 ships to get ready. Fare thee well, Marco Polo.
We embarked at Changchao and sailed through the China Sea. The trip back was indeed long, for it took 2 years and a half. We encountered great seas and storms of the worst sort. It was a cruel journey, for many died of pestilence and other causes. But my father and uncle and I survived, as did the lovely Princess Kokachi. We disembarked at Hormuz, and after an overland journey in Persia, we safely brought the princess to her court. She was loath to leave us. Indeed, she wept with sorrow at our parting. And so in the year of Christ, 1295, we returned to Venice, verily rich in gold and jewels, but richer even more in our knowledge of the strange and wondrous ways of the world.
So ends the book of Marco Polo, written in prison. For soon after his return, Marco was captured in a naval battle with the rival city of Genoa. When peace came in 1299, Marco returned to Venice, where he later married and had 3 daughters. He lived a long life as a prosperous merchant. His book has lived after him. Copied by hand for almost 2 centuries, and in 1477, one of the first books to be set in print. It introduced the vast continent of Asia to the Western world, one of the great adventure stories of all time, the book of Marco Polo.